All right, good morning everyone and happy Monday. We have a lower body strength and core workout today, but today's replay is going to look a little different because unfortunately our live training session replay got cut off at 14 minutes and I did not realize only until after the entire session was done at 60 minutes. And so this replay today, we're going to do stop and start style. I'm going to explain the part and you are going to press pause on the video, complete the prescribed amount of reps and sets, and then press start once you're done and go through the workout training session that way. Except the warm-up. The warm-up we are going to do together, which is going to start right now, where we do not need any equipment. But for the workout itself, the training session, we are going to be using this here chair. I have my 8-pound dumbbells and my loop bands underneath. Okay, so let's start you guys off on the floor, working with our rotations, loosening up our hips, our lower back, starting laying on our back, grabbing opposite knee. Again, you can join me here for the warm-up. We're going to do it together. And then for the supersets, the strength exercises in the core, we are going to press pause on the video and do it on our own. So 10 of these total, 5 per side. We're trying to exhale, grab this knee and exhale, breathe out, try to bring the knee all the way over and touch the floor. And we will go through 10 of those total, 5 per side. Once we're finished, and again, you are doing those, so do them. Once you're done you can join me up in these 90-90, in this 90-90 position, and we will be flipping our legs through these, going back and forth, trying to see if we can sit upright, but we know the drill with these. If we need to, we can lean back and use that support of our arms and hands if this doesn't feel very comfortable, because it should feel comfortable. Okay, it should feel more comfortable as we go through our 10 reps. Okay, so we're doing 10 of these total through these ones. Now, once you're done 10, we're going to pause on one side and try to turn our hips towards the leg with the outside of the leg facing down. And then we'll turn our body once, twice, and then switch legs and do this on the other side, once, twice, and we have 2 sets of this. So now I'll go back to the first side, and I'm trying to turn, move through my hips, through my lower back, through my torso, 2 turns, and then we switch, and 2 turns. So take your time with this one, as all of these. Okay, so that is going to be the next one. Once you're finished, we are standing up and off of the floor, coming to the front of our mat, hands down by our sides, hip width apart in our feet. We'll step back into a lunge and send both of our arms above our head. And we're counting out 10 of these total, 5 per side. So alternating legs, right side and left side, 10 of them. Once we're done 10, we have 10 more with 1 rotation in towards that front leg. So 10 normal, and then 10 with a rotation. Let's do it. Okay, so again, you guys are doing these ones with me, going through this warm-up together, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so 10, 5 per side without rotation, 10, 5 per side with the rotation. All right. Okay, so we have 2 more to go in this warm-up right here. The next 2 are all about activation, okay? First is about your glute, your hip activation, and then we got the core, which we'll talk about when we get there. First off, we're going to stand on one leg, shifting all the way over there, standing with a soft knee, nice posture. We'll push the hips back, and then pull the hips forward, working with our hip-loaded step through. So I'm trying to load up my hips, and then step through, using all those tight muscles in my glutes to pull my hips through. So we're getting very activated, very warm. You can feel everything working over here as we go through 15 reps per side. Okay, so 15 over here. We've already started them. So let's do them. 15, and then we'll switch, and you can do 15 on this side. And by the end of that, we should be feeling lots of stuff going on, okay? Nice and warm, ready to go back there. So let's get it. 15 and 15. Okay, don't worry too much about the arms, although eventually you can align opposite arm, opposite leg. But most important is the hips, the legs, and all of that. Okay, so last one, 15, 15. Final one's going to be a dead bug. We're on our back. We want a standard dead bug. So opposite arm and opposite leg, where we're really tapping into that coordination. We're pushing our lower back down into the floor, right arm, left leg, and then the other two go. These two do not move, okay? So make sure that you are getting that going on. Going through 20 total, 10 per side. Did I just say 10 per side? Or 10 total? I meant 20 total, 10 per side. Okay, so let's do it. Trying to push our back down. The lower back down is the most important part of this. It has to be down into the floor. Okay, if you need to, you can keep your legs bent rather than straight. Okay, so we should be getting warmer as we go through this. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so as you are finishing up that dead bug, if you're already done, you can stand up, grab yourself some water. If you're still finishing up, take your time. Okay, I'm going to give you about 30 more seconds here until we stop you off that one. Now we are going to be starting our first two exercises, and you guys will need your equipment. I'm going to be using my two 8-pound dumbbells as well as my loop band, one of them, my medium strength one, okay? So, all right, so you should be warm, should be finished the dead bug. We are standing up. Now, this next part, the next four parts that we're going to go through are going to be stop and start style, which means I'm going to explain what's happening. I'm going to show you guys the exercises. We're going to talk about how many reps, how many sets you're doing. I'm going to talk all about that stuff. And then when I say so, you are going to come up to this video and you are going to pause it, okay? Complete your sets, your reps. Once you're finished, you'll come on back here and you'll press start and you will listen to the next part, okay? And follow that same format, that same style for the next few parts that we're going to go through, okay? I keep saying few, but there are 4. So starting off with this first one, okay? We have 2 movements that we're going to be pairing together. The first one is a front-loaded squat. So I'm going to hold these weights in front of me here like this. I'm in a squat stance, and we're working with 15 reps where we're sitting down to 90 degrees and standing up, 15 of them. Now, ways we can make these 15 harder, we can go slower, add more time under tension. So either slow down on the way down, okay, or pause at the bottom for 1, 2, maybe 3 seconds, okay, but you're doing 15 of them. So if you want, you can start your first set, normal tempo and just see how you feel. You will be completing 4 rounds total, okay, including that first one that you just did or that you are going to be doing. That's our first exercise. With this one, we're going into our lateral banded side steps. So I'm going to take this band, put it around my heels, my ankles like this, come over to one side and get myself into that same hinged position, hip loaded position as the warm up, where I stick my butt out. And then I'm going to step wider, hip width, all the way down the mat, all the way back, keeping my upper body kind of forward, my butt back, 2 times, there and back, okay? So once is there and back, and then we go all the way down, back 2 times, and then you will complete 3 more sets of that, okay? So what I want you to do right now is press pause on this video. Go get that done, okay? And I'll meet you back here. Here we go. All right, so good job on part 1. We are moving on to part 2, which is going to require this here chair or bench or something to elevate your back foot, because the first exercise that we are doing is our rear foot elevated split squats. So we're going to have our back foot up where our shoelaces would be, down on that chair, that bench, preferably something soft. We're going to hold weights on one side here, going down to 90 degrees, standing all the way up, doing 10 reps per side only, okay? So that's going to be our first one. Again, we will definitely want to add resistance if we have it. So I'm going to use both of my dumbbells like this, like so, holding them on the side with the back leg up, and then we'll sit down to 90 degrees and push ourselves up, going through 10 of them. Same rules apply with the pauses, with the slowing down. If I want to make this harder, I can take more time with it, okay? 10 and 10. With this one, we are going right into a 20 rep hip thrust. So I'm going to use this chair, grab my weights, put them on my hips like this, okay? And the weights are optional. We can also put a band around our knees, also optional, okay? So we're going through 20 reps of these ones, pairing them with that first one, that first split squat that we did, all right? And if you don't have a chair, a bench for both of these, You'll just follow along doing the same thing on the floor with your foot or with your back. Okay, so 4 sets total, my friends. Split squats, 10 and 10. Hip thrusts, 20. No rest in between. We're just going back to back, okay? And I'll meet you back here when you're done, okay? Go get it done. Let's do it. All right, you guys, here we are. Third part and the last part of our lower body strength, okay? So we have 3 movements. We're doing them circuit style. Same idea, little to no rest, just going back to back between these 3 moves. First one, going back to where we just were really, into our single leg hip thrust. So we're working with 10 of these per side, back into that same upper back situation. Single leg, this one stays bent up to 90 degrees, and we do 10 over here and 10 over here. Okay, so this is the first one. We'll follow through 10 and 10 of those ones there. Second one, we're going to grab onto this band, put it around our knees if we have it. Okay, I'm also gonna grab my weights so I can have a bit more weight going on in these squats that we're doing. I'll position myself in front of my chair, in front of my bench. We'll be sitting down and opening up 1, 2, and then standing up to the top. That's 1. We're doing 10 of those. 1, 2, and standing to the top. That's 2. Okay, so you're going through 10. Now, if you don't have a chair, you don't have weights, whatever it is, following along the same exact thing, just if you're not in a chair, you just don't sit down, okay? If you don't have weights, you just don't hold anything in your hands. That's okay. So that is our second exercise. All right. And you guys have the third one. So again, we're going right from that one right into the next one. Final one is going to be alternating reverse lunges. So we're going to grab onto those weights or keep them in our hands rather, but just move them down by our sides, and we'll step back into lunges, right side, left side, going through 20 total, 10 per side. Okay, so I'm pushing my hips back. My upper body can come forward slightly so that I keep my shin in this position rather than me pushing forward like this, okay? So we'll go through 20, and then, well, this one is going to be a little bit different, okay? What you guys are going to do, rather than counting out your sets, which you'll get about 3 to 4, we're gonna set ourselves a timer, okay, for 12 minutes. So we're gonna press start right, or pause right now on this video, and then set a timer on your phone or your computer, whatever you're watching this on, and press start on that timer, 12 minutes. And I want you to complete as many sets of those 3 as you can in that 12 minutes, okay? So we have the single leg hip thrusts, 10 and 10, all right? The squats with the abduction, where we're sitting down, opening twice, 10, and then the lunges, 10 per side, 20 total, okay? So this is our last part of our strength. Press pause, go get it done, and I'll meet you guys back here for the core. All right. Okay, so here we are, the last part, the core. Now, good news is this last part is all done off of a timer, an interval timer. If you do not have an interval timer, it's completely okay. You're just gonna have a running clock, either on your phone, your watch, whatever it is, and we're gonna watch the clock for our timer instead of actually having a set timer. But if you have an interval timer app, or if you wanna pull up our training app and use the interval timer on there, now is your time to shine, okay? We're gonna set it for 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. The other thing that we need is space. So I'm going to move all of my stuff, all of my equipment, this chair, everything. I'm moving it out of the way, okay? And we are moving down, and I'm talking to stay until the end of the workout, to the end of the session here. We're gonna be working our core down on the floor. So same thing, we're gonna go through, I'm gonna show you these 3 movements, okay? You are going to do them through the 3 sets that we have today. So 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. We're going to be working for 40 seconds, resting for 20 seconds. We have 3 exercises. Second one is a double-sided exercise, okay? So first one is a hollow hold. You guys are going to be laying on your back, working with holding this position. Now the hollow hold, we have levels. This is level 1. This is level 2, level 3, and then level 4. Now, most important is our keeping our back down. So if you lose it, I want you to find a level that you can keep it, okay? So we'll talk about that one again. I'll give you those levels just in a second here, but that is going to be the first one. We're holding for 40 seconds, okay? And then we rest for 20. Okay, in that 20 seconds, we'll also transition into a side plank because that is the next one. Okay, so for the next 40 seconds, we're holding a side plank. 40 seconds, hold in, breathe in. Okay, we can do this half if we need to. We can lift the leg if we want to, and we hang out here for 40 seconds, all right? And then we rest, we'll switch over, same thing on the other side, 40-second hold. Last movement is going to be a rockin' V hold. So this is actually a new one for us. We're gonna walk our hips back and sit into this V position. We wanna make sure we have some space behind us. There's nothing we're gonna hit our head on because we're rocking down and up into this V, okay? And you'll work this one for 40 seconds. All right. Now, again, we're going to go through 3 sets total, okay? 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. You can either set an interval timer, which we've talked about before, or you can have a running clock and just watch for that 40 seconds and watch for that 20 seconds. But this is you guys, okay? So again, we have the hollow hold, all right? Side planks, and then that V. Hollow hold level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Okay, so you guys find whatever version is going to challenge you and go get that done, okay? When you're finished, you can come back here. I'm going to leave you with 2 to 3 quick stretches that you can go through that are going to make you feel really good after doing this training session, okay? BRB. All right, get her done. All right, welcome back, you guys. And here we are for the stretches. So most importantly, we need to stretch out your hip flexors in the front. So if you're going to do any of them, this is the one that I would suggest you do, okay? This half kneeling hip flexor stretch. You can also do this in a standing position, which we've talked about before, but we'll contract the glute, try to squeeze the butt to produce that nice stretch in the front here. We'll hold this for at least 1 minute, okay? So same thing, when we're done this video here, you can set your clock and actually watch the clock and hold each side, each stretch for 60 seconds at least, so that you get the benefits. If you just hold it for like 10 or 20 seconds and switch, you're not really getting that stretching benefit, that lengthening benefit on your muscles and everything around them, okay? So do both sides, 10 and 10. Second one that I would suggest you do is this guy here on our back, a little bit of this action, okay? You can hold both sides, again, 1 minute on each. And then last but not least is loosening up our lower back and our core, so we can spend some time doing this cat-cow, and then eventually sitting down onto our heels, okay? And again, you guys are on your own, independent for the stretches, okay? You are done with me. I hope you feel good and that little follow along start and stop worked out for all of us. Please drop a comment below if it did so that I know. And again, thank you for being patient and bearing with me with all of our technical difficulties that we seem to have, but it all works out in the end, and hopefully you feel good, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day and adios.